Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today I am back with this week's episode of the Spfl show. Yeah, don't adjust your monitors, ladies and gentlemen. It's just me and the day as both Div and Gogsy and obviously Ryan Mominate dropped out at the last minute, leaving me completely on my own. So this is going to be an exciting episode of the Spfl show. It's just going to be me and basically the comment section. So feel free to get involved. Let me know your opinion as we break down each and every single game, and we will rock and roll from there. And by the way, can I just explain, Div's actually sick, so that's why he's not on the show. Gogsy, I don't know, probably wanking. And Ryan's unreliable. So I see a couple of comments already asking where everyone is. Div's actually genuinely ill, but apart from that, we go for solo. That's right. Someone's got the joke, Mikey. Shout out to you. I was worried that everyone just thought I was a bit of a Star Wars nerd, so shout out to him. Right, so what? All right, okay, let's stop it with the Billy No Mates jokes, okay? Hurtful lads. But anyway, we're going to dive right into the very first game we're going to be talking about, so feel free to get your opinion out there. We're going to be talking about St Johnstone 1, Aberdeen 1. That's right, we're going to start off crap and slowly work our way up, lads. That's what we like to do here on the channel. Unfortunately, we've not quite got to the good stuff yet. But anyway, we had Considine's 500th game, which is absolutely mental. He is exactly 48 years old, if anyone's asking. That is why he's reached that. As Div messages the chat there. Thanks for that, mate. Very professional. Not only do you turn up, but you also interrupt me when I'm doing the live show. CJ's crying before the stream. Yes, I was. But someone else that was crying is going to be Aberdeen in this game of football because it was absolutely one-sided to the max. Aberdeen actually took the lead for Cosgrove, of course. Some nice movement. You can't what you get with Cosgrove, and I always say this whenever we talk about it to the boys and everything like that, is he's physical, gets the ball up, but he's got a bit of quality as well, and you see that in the first goal because his first reaction isn't just to rush the shot. It's actually to cut inside, get on his left foot, his weaker foot, and bury it from range. Be questions about the goalkeeper, but for me, I'm actually going to give a lot of credit to Cosgrove about that. But this game just, it looked like it was going to go one way, and the chances certainly seemed that way, but it's Aberdeen, and this makes me very, very happy to say, but they didn't go ahead and get the win because St Johnstone responded for our man, Mr. Kennedy, with a fantastic equaliser, if I'm honest with you. They should have been 5-6 down by the time Kennedy equalised, but this is where the game just went from funny to absolutely mad because in the last 10 minutes of the match, there was 2 red cards for St Johnstone. So I'm very interested to see if you've actually seen any of the red cards. I'm going to ask you your opinion watching this live show. Were they red cards in your opinion? The first one for me is a stonewall red card. Callum, like, you see it, it's a bit of a foul on him, so I understand there's frustration for the St Johnstone fans because it looks like Cosgrove originally froze the elbow first, and I can understand people's frustration and why he's angry, but the challenge is absolutely horrific. If you've not seen it, it's an absolute ankle breaker. It's horrific. So for that one, it's a definite red card, in my opinion. Shout out to Tyler, by the way. He's donated £5 to the chat. He says, I'll tell you what, no matter what happens on Thursday, at least we'll never draw against 9 men, bottom of the league, St Johnstone. That is a fantastic comment there. Thank you so much for tipping the show. But for me, clear red card with the first one. The second one, I find very interesting, right? And I just want to say before we talk about the penalty, I know Peter Ramsey, we're going to speak about that. The second red card is, I've seen worse being given for a yellow card so far this season. Like, if you're saying that's a red card, there's going to be a lot of red cards in the season. It obviously comes from Hendry, slide challenging into Ferguson. But what I quite like about Ferguson's reaction, did he roll about? Did he hold his knee? Did he go in like that? No, he got absolutely broken in half. But what was Ferguson's initial reaction? Was to turn around, get in the boy's face, and basically ask for a scrap. I quite like Ferguson, apart from when he plays well against us. But I can understand why it was given a red. Luke actually goes 100% red on him. I agree with it, mate, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of red cards if that's going to be a red card. I mean, I go back a couple of weeks ago where in a Rangers game, that should have happened as well, but we've never really seen it. But a lot of credit's going to be given to Xander Clark in this game as well. Save after save, but how did Aberdeen not beat bottom of the league, St Johnstone, with 9 men on the field? Absolutely horrific. I'm seeing the comments firing in, getting in there saying, all right, thank you. All right there, big man. Getting a lot of love there. St Johnstone are dead and buried. That's going to be an interesting one. But we're going to go back to something that Peter Ramsey wrote in to the chat because I actually have this down on my list. We talk about referees every week, and obviously if you just watch maybe my fan recaps or something like that, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the refs in Scottish football. But it's not just against Rangers, ladies and gentlemen. Please go and watch this, right? It's across to the back post. Big Main is there to heed it, right? He's about to heed it into the back of the net. The St Johnstone player, I swear, he does this. That move, you can watch that back if you need to, but that move right there, and somehow the referee looks at that and goes, no penalty kick. It goes like that, lads. For me, that's a penalty kick. Ramsey saying it's a penalty kick there. A lot of people saying thanks, CJ, for getting the pish out of the way. I just want to know people's opinion. Was that a clear handball? Was it his natural silhouette or not? Let me know what you think about that one. But for me, it's bad, mate. It's a bad one. Ian Stewart says, aye, sports scene is a struggle. Yes, it is, especially with how biased it is. Dean writes in, it's a Superman punch. It is, mate. It clearly is a red card, and a penalty kick. Just goes like that. Very similar to Quellar's against Celtic all those years ago, if any are old enough to remember that. Cam goes, maybe we set up for the people's elbow. Mark says red, and Robert also goes was a hand, and Lewis writes in Stonewaller. So you can see people's opinion so far. It was the hand of God, and we appreciate that, St Johnstone. Thanks for that, but agreed, it should have been a red card. And I want to just ask the people watching in the chat right now, is this time that we say, right, St Johnstone are going to go down? Because I've been sort of arguing with the boys saying, right, they're going to turn it around because they always do under Tommy Wright. But the team looks beat before a ball's even kicked, ladies and gentlemen. So is this season St Johnstone go down? Let me know your thoughts on that. And while we do that, by the way, we're going to go ahead and move to the next game of football, because we had a game that was kind of filled with mad incidents in the late game. Well, let's start off with a game of football that started off with mad incidences in the start of the game. And that's going to be Kilmarnock 3, Hearts 0. Gotta be honest with you, lads. I got this one completely wrong. I backed Hearts in this game. Just going to let that sour for a moment. I did. If you ever needed any other proof of how useless I am, I backed Hearts in this game, and they were dead and buried within 20 minutes. Battered. Craig Levine in. I've got to say that. I do find it interesting that the old Budgie was there watching. That's what I call her, by the way. She was there watching, and I just do not understand what Hearts are doing. You look at Hibs, right? They went ahead and got a pretty good manager in Jack Ross. We'll speak about that later in the show, but they've reacted over the international break. They went and got a manager, and they went and got a result. Hearts have got a skinny Viking as their manager that doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. It just seems to play the exact same way as Craig Levine, and I am honestly so lost about where Hearts are gone as a football club. I know JVC Cam writes in every show. Very interesting to know what his thoughts are on this game. Cammy McFarlane's a Kilmarnock fan, tunes in every week. What we're saying about this game of football, ladies and gentlemen, where does Hearts go for here? Honestly, I've not got a Scooby. They seem to be struggling. They seem to be beating themselves. It's quite funny watching that as well. But JVC Cam writes in, he says, budget is a joke. Slow process to get a new manager in. Yes, I've seen someone saying that they'd be interested in keeping him, the skinny Viking, as a manager. That's warning signs. Warning signs if I was a Hearts fan. But let's break down the game of football then, shall we? Because we had a former Rangers player doing bits, and that was actually Chris Burke. He was kind of involved in everything positive for Kilmarnock, whether that was going forward or even getting back and getting stuck in. Now, there was a wee incident towards the end of the game, which we'll break down in a minute, but let's start off with the positives then, shall we? Great first goal. I thought the guy that was passing it into him delayed it a bit too much and left Chris Burke with a lot today in a very, very difficult position, because when the ball comes in, he knows he's going to get leathered, but Burke isn't scared, gets stuck in, buries it, takes a heavy one and puts his team 1-0 up. And then 2 minutes later, or a couple of minutes later, you see Burke, what else he can do when he's got the ball at his feet. It might not have ginger hair anymore, but he's still got a bit of quality. Out in the wing, beautiful ball in. And Broves, who I think Div's been very, very critical of this season by not taking his chances. He picked up a goal in his last game. He's picked up one there. And the way he finished that header was very, very impressive. We're getting a couple of people just joining the show asking, where is everyone? Let us down, lads. What can I say? They let us. Taylor Newman, Tim said, £2, thank you so much, mate. He says, Poch to Hearts. Are you on crack? No, I'm joking. I've seen a lot of people saying get Baz on and stuff like that. If I was to ask Baz to talk about anyone else in the SPFL, it'd be an utter disaster. But going ahead with the Burke thing, after the brilliant assist, he's sitting with a goal and assist. But I think his second goal was actually the best moment of the game for him, because it shows that he's still got the threat with the ball at his feet when he's committing defenders, and he cuts in his weak foot. Beautiful run. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I know we're not the biggest fan of him lately, but he's still got a bit of quality, and they showed that with a fantastic finish, cutting in. And the Hearts defence just never knew what to do with him, because you look at Chris Burke, right? He's not got the pace anymore, right? He's not the most physical, but he just seems to be involved in everything. And I was really, really impressed with his performance overall for Kilmarnock. Did Hearts offer anything in the game? A couple of half opportunities, a couple of half chances. But if I'm honest with you, I'm looking at this Hearts team pretty much like I said about St Johnstone. They look beat before they even start. I don't know why I picked them to beat Kelly. Maybe just an indictment on myself there, but I don't know, lads. I'm very, very worried about Hearts, how they go on this season. But Burke doing bits for Kilmarnock, and that's a very, very important 3 points for them as well. A lot of people saying, yep, Batchy to Hearts as well. Hearts got pummeled. I've seen a lot of questions saying Burke is staunch. That's an interesting one. Baz Bowski on the show would be a disaster if Baz was on the show. But anyway, we've not really got anything else to say. We all know what's going on with Hearts. They need to get a manager in, surely. And apart from Pochettino, who I'm seeing a lot of comments for, who do you think should get in there? Mark writes in Big Sam to Hearts. And that actually reminds me, Big Sam's been taking shots at Celtic today. I don't know if any of you have seen that in the press, but he's basically saying if you want to win trophies, you just go to Scottish football, you be a Celtic manager and just hand you it's an easy job. Like, that doesn't impress him. So he kind of took a swipe there at Scottish football, and a man who's known for taking bribes, that's pretty brave to be taking shots at any other establishment. That's an interesting one for there. Ewan McKenzie says, how are you feeling after the 2 Ryans saving my limbs? Well, we'll get to that in a couple of minutes, because there's no way we are going to go from the Kilmarnock game over to the Rangers game. We can't waste it on that. I just checked my notes, lads. The next game's the Celtic game. Just myself there. This is going to be Sear. Okay, what's going to be funny? I'm actually going to be better at doing this than Ryan Murray, and he spent his entire life doing Celtic news. Well, I'm about to bring it down. Celtic fans, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Me instead of Ryan Murray. Celtic won 4-0 versus Livingston. Big Dykes, we were all expecting a masterclass. Mr. Bobster writes in there, we didn't see a Dykes masterclass. It was a very, very poor performance for Livingston. Something I noticed for them is they were very unusually slack in defence, especially for a Livingston side that kind of prides themselves on their defensive, like sitting with kind of 2 banks of 4. Let's not beat around the bush. It's usually negative, but they were so wide open at Celtic Park. They nearly done the job for Celtic, who on the other end just took them to town, lads. I can't say anything more. Celtic looked very, very dangerous. I thought Frimpong looked absolutely immense in this game. Like, Livingston looked terrified every time he got the ball. He was spinning people left, right, creating chances. There's not much else I can really say apart from Celtic were very, very impressive. The first goal ends up coming from Edouard with a good finish, chips it over the goalkeeper, who put in a sort of man of the match performance the last time we played against him. Nice little finish for Edouard. But one thing I will say about Edouard, he could have had about 4 or 5 goals in this game. I don't know if you saw the game or if you agree with that or not. I know there's Celtic fans who watch for the Ryan and stuff like that, but Edouard had about 3 or 4 opportunities there, but he kind of missed them all, and it looked like it was going to turn into a frustrating game where they just couldn't take their chances. But the goals eventually came after sort of tearing Livingston apart from limb to limb. There is a real problem with Livingston Football Club, I've noticed. Away from home to home, it's night and day, and I just didn't understand it. I know some people talk about the plastic pitch, and I'm quite usually one of them that does it, but it can't just be a plastic pitch. Why is Livingston so good defensively every single home game, right, but absolutely terrible away from home? Can anyone explain that to me? Chris Boyle actually writes in, Livy were shit, to be honest, man. I've got to be honest, mate, they really were. But we're going to talk about the next goal of the game then, and it was actually scored by Scott Brown with a deflected effort. Let's move away from there. All my jokes that I've got in my rope didn't really work like when I'm myself. I've realised that, so I'm kind of freeballing this one. Frimpong was involved heavily in the next goal as well. Sprinted down, ends up getting a rebounded shot after the goalie saves it with his neck. The rebound goes all the way up there, and Forrest does very, very well to finish that with a nice timed volley. And then Forrest ends up getting involved in the last goal as well, with a nice finish, and that's quite annoying to say, running through and goal. But even if you go back and look at the 4th goal for Celtic, right, what is Livingston doing? Bartley, who's usually so uncompromising and so just get the ball away, is so lackadaisical on the ball. he turns, passes it backwards when there's no one there, and puts them through own goal. I don't know, lads. It just seems so strange for Livingston. Again, it could be the international break blues. We know ourselves, being like majority, I suppose, the Rangers fans know it's frustrating coming back for the international duty, but Livingston very, very poor in this game, but Celtic absolutely lethal going forward. A lot of pace, a lot of directness, and I thought Frimpong was the best player on the park by a large margin. I know Edouard got in like the team of the week or something like that, like Chris Sutton's team of the week, but for me, there was one player in the Celtic team who looked really, really good, and that was the young man, Frimpong, out on the winged position. A lot of people saying bigger park. That could be the reason why they set up defensively so well at Livingston. Mike's actually saying Livingston are used to the plastic pitch, so that's why they struggle defending on a grass pitch. Again, these are questions that need to be asked, because it's not just this season with Livingston. You go back to last season, we played them, they beat us 1-0. We couldn't get close to them, but then we pumped them every other time when we play at our park. It's weird, lad. There's so many. I'm just laughing at some of the comments coming in there. Callum McKenzie writes in, as a Rangers fan, do you think Frimpong causes trouble when we play against Rangers? It's a good question, mate, and all I'm going to say is he's looking good. It's going to be an interesting battle. I think the way that he actually plays, it will either be Barnaby or Barisic or Tavernier up against him. I think they've got a bit more pace to them than the defenders for Livingston, so that may add a wee bit, but he's looking like a very good, young, talented player, so we'll all need to make our way or make a plan to play against him, because to me, every game I've watched in the last couple of weeks, he looks like their best player, honestly. But we'll move away from the Celtic game there, and we'll move away from Livingston, who very, very disappointed me. Big Dykes, I used to love you, but you're disappointing me there, Dykesy. They've just been... I can't what it is. It's the blonde. If it goes back to blonde, we'll start to do things again. Right, the next game we're going to be talking about is going to be a team. If you follow the Spfl show, you know I've sort of, I wouldn't say starting back, but I want them to do well because they play football the right way, and that is actually going to be St Mirren, and they got a vital win that actually moved them off the bottom of the league up to second bottom with St Johnstone, obviously just getting pumped doing worse. They ended up winning this game 2-1, but it did not start for St Mirren very well, because Ross County start off brightly again. Questions need to be asked about Ross County to see why they seem to start games off well, but they can't keep that up. But if you've not seen this game, lads, go ahead and check the replays, because there's some exciting bits of football there. I mean, Scottish football gets a bad rep, but that was a pretty damn good game. And the first goal for Ross County, outside of the fit, right, curls it, absolutely buries it. The ball's dead. I'm going to say something, right? It's very reminiscent of Ronaldinho's goal versus Chelsea, right? I'm going to say that, but I'm not saying it's as good. But the way the ball's kind of stuck still and hits with the outside of his foot is very similar, in case you've not seen it. That's the way that the game was broken down. Remy actually writes in, decent game, by the way. Yeah, it was. It was an interesting battle watching them go ahead and go. Sandy Arvin writes in, what games have been done? We've discussed the Celtic game, the Aberdeen game, and the Kelly game, because they played against Hearts. Don't worry, we've still got Rangers and everything, still that to come. But after the fantastic Ronaldinho-esque goal, that's right, I've said it again, mate. I've seen it again. We need to talk about the way that St Mirren just seemed to wake up. After they went behind, it was almost like, right, they've scored, now we need to start playing football again. And they slowly but surely got into the game of football after a couple of massive chances for Ross County. Let's not beat around the bush. They had a hell of a lot of chances to put this away. But the first goal for St Mirren, there's going to be questions about whether it should have been a penalty kick, but it doesn't really matter, because whether the guy was fouled or he tripped over his own foot, the ball ends up resulting, falls to Big McGlock, and he's there to smash it into the back of the net. It would have been very, very harsh if the big man ended up overturning that goal and giving the penalty kick. And I think the guy played for it anyway, if I'm honest. I've got it in my notes, it wasn't a penalty kick in my opinion. That'll be interesting to see. Telling my kids you were Martin Tyler. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Cal McKenzie writes it was a back and forth game. Definitely, Nate. Cal writes in a big old toe poke. You're damn right it was, son. Beautiful. St Mirren RF, they have Broadfoot on their team. Well, Broadfoot's actually injured now. He's going to be missing the next couple of games, so we'll see for that. Redwood Squirrel actually brings up a good point. He said St Mirren still wanted a pen. Yeah, they scored, yet they still were asking for a penalty kick. Strange behaviour, but what wasn't strange behaviour was the last goal of the game, and it was a fantastic breakaway finish for St Mirren. That's everything that you want to see in the Scottish game. It had a bit of pace, Bit of nice little movement there, nice little shimmies, and Foley absolutely smashes it into the top bin. Very reminiscent of Joe Rebo's goal a couple of weeks ago versus Livingston, I believe it was. Left foot, banged it top bin. But apart from the goals, I do want to ask you a question, right? And if you have seen this game of football, when the big man for St Mirren went through, right, he's on the halfway line, he turns his defender and knocks it by the last man. The defender absolutely crunches him, yet the referee only gave a yellow card. Should that not have been a red card if it was the last man? I know he's on the halfway line, right? And I don't know if you can call it a clear goal-scoring opportunity, but there's no one near him. And let's be fair, the defenders aren't the quickest bunch. So was it a red? Whether or not, let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll fire up a couple on there. But for me, I'd have been wanting a red card there, in my opinion. Will actually writes in no red card. That's interesting. I'd be interested to see why you think it shouldn't have been a red card. Very good last goal. It definitely was, mate. And Ian Stewart writes in, it was a weak foot too. Beautiful goal, mate. Beautiful goal. Chris Boyle fires in the other way and goes red. Mark Kelly writes in, was a definite red card. The only county player was lucky. The county player was lucky to stay on the park. You're getting a couple other reds in there, but then to be fair, the comment section split. No for Dylan Russell there, and Andrew Campbell also writes in no yellow. So, okay. I mean, you look at the comments: red, no red, no red, red. So it looks like it's kind of split. But for me, I'd want a red card there because I don't think the defenders are getting anywhere near him. I think he's through on goal there, and I think as much as I'm critical of the big man up top, he is a good player. I think he would have finished that one. But the most important thing for St Mirren is they got the 3 points. That wasn't the make or break. The referees didn't ruin this game of football. It was back and forth. There was chances either way, and St Mirren move off bottom, which knocks Saints downward, which is always nice with that one. Right, we're moving on to the next game as well. And we're going to turn, before we end on the Rangers game, we're going to be turning over to the Hibs 3, Motherwell 1. Hibs won a game of football, and that, I need a drink because I never saw that coming. The Hibs game was actually interesting to watch because unlike the last couple of Hibs performances, they went behind through Motherwell, right? And we all know, we've kind of discussed it on the show, when they usually go behind, they've not got that fighting spirit to come back. They didn't rally, the heads drop, they start to blame each other, they start on moaning pish. But under the new manager, Jack Ross, in his first game in the SPFL, when they went 1-0 behind, it almost didn't even faze them. Like, they just continued to prod along. And I think you're already seeing the benefit of actually getting a manager that the players respect in. Hearts could learn a lot about that because their players didn't seem to ken what they're doing. But Hearts stuck to the task in this new formation, the 4-1-2-1-2. And I've got to be honest, they look very, very dangerous. Scott Allen, I've got to hear in my notes, was involved in everything that was positive for Hibs. We all make a fun of the pass versus Rangers, but he made a couple of other passes in this game, which was very, very impressive. But the big man that me and Dev was ripping the piss out of the other week there, Big Deutsch, ends up scoring again, so that's great. As if I wasn't embarrassed enough online, the guy I calls absolutely crap and say he couldn't score in a brothel scores 4 goals in 2 games. Thanks, Deutsch. Thanks, mate. Now, yes, it was deflected in, but again, like the Scott Brown goal, as long as it's on target, it's going to be given as a goal. Dean Buchan writes in, legend say Gogsy's still punching walls. Well, maybe that's why he's not here, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe that is why the man's not here. Curry Muncher actually writes in, the Hibs performance reminded me of the old Hibs, devastating on the break. It's bang on, mate. They look very, very threatening. And the interest in the way that they played in this 4-1-2-1-2 is completely different than they've played all season, where they've had like the wingers and stuff like that. It was much more compact, but also they had the pace just to burst out. And they were all interchanging. It was very interesting to watch. And Jack Ross, as you already know if you watch the channel for a long time, I rate him as a manager. I think you say what you want about Sunderland, he done all right. I mean, that was a team that was just getting relegated every year and just in turmoil. He kind of turned them around, got them to the playoffs. It didn't quite work out, but he looks like a good manager. And I know he's a big fan of Glenn Middleton, so hopefully that partnership grows. Now, he wasn't involved in this game, but he's severely lacking match fitness and stuff like that. So it's going to take a while for Glenn to get up to speed. But I'd be very interested to see if Jack Ross can put his money where his mouth is and work with someone that he's talked up in the past and said is a very, very exciting player. So, ready, Ted? That already answers that question. No, but he's not fit yet, but apparently he's going to be bred into the game. Johnny Murphy. Hibs won a game of football. You're damn right, Johnny. I reckon what has actually gone on. Robert writes in, Dodge is honestly awful. Still don't know how he's playing for Hibs. I'm the same, mate, but every time I say that, he goes and scores next week. What's happening here? Honestly. Right, but apart from that, we also had another player who's sort of finding his form again, and that's Kimberry. Very, very interesting. The last game that he played, we put him in the 5 players of a week. I think he was number 3 on my list, and once again, he was brilliant. But what I like about this goal is Scott Allen threads in a pass right behind the defensive line, in between the left back and centre back, that only the Hibs player can get there. The Hibs player crosses it in. Kimberry then shows Sahan that he's not showed for 9 months. Composure. Does he rush the finish? Does he try and just hit it? No, he actually fake shots it, stays on his feet, works the space, and buries it into the back of the net. So not only did we get a Deutsch goal, right? We got a Hibs win, but Kimberry's shown composure. Wake me up, lads. It's 2017. I don't care what's going on. Not an absolute Scooby-Doo. He's actually a very good player as well, so it's good to see him getting his confidence back. But again, Scott Allen heavily involved. And then there was the 2 penalty incidents that I was going to ask, but I've asked our resident referee in Gogsey whether or not there should have been a penalty for Motherwell and whether or not there should have been a penalty for Hibs. But our referee said no penalty for either. I think both of them were dives as well, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Don't take me back, yeah. Don't take me back. Ewan, what a lad. Kimberry is more inconsistent than the pod host. Fire it. Let them know that they've let you down, lads. But, you know what I mean? I'm here reading out notes that's supposed to be for 4 people by myself because I refuse to let you down, lads. We're going to rock on with that. But, again, someone else that I've been very, very impressed with over the last couple of weeks is going to be Hogan, and he actually scored the 3rd goal in the game for Hibs to end the tie. There was chances for Motherwell, and I know the Motherwell admin had a wee bit of a meltdown on Twitter saying a dominating performance from Motherwell ends with a loss. Yes, they had chances, but they didn't take them. So stop bitching and moaning about it. Hibs ends up taking their chances through Hogan. Direct run. You can't what you're getting with Hogan. He likes to get inside the box because either he's going to get a shot off or you're going to foul him. Drives right into the box, slows the game down, waits for the defender to commit and show what he's going to do. And as soon as the defender puts his leg out, Hogan, nice little step outwards and buries it into the back of the net. Hibs went on to the game to hit the post as well, but fascinating performance for Hibs. And is this going to be the turnaround now under Jack Ross? What he's thinking about this management now that you've actually seen them play? Mark Dow writes in, 3rd Hibs goal was excellent. It really was, mate. Lewis writes in, Hogan, Preston career mode legend. Let's see, what's this? Played football against the Towns. I call him, all right, Cammy, it's writing Horgan. Listen, mate, it's Hogan. If you're not a long-time viewer of the channel, you didn't get that joke, I'm very, very disappointed in you, mate. It's Hoagie. It's Hogsy. But that's it for the Hibs game. It was a fascinating win. I've seen a lot of people saying that Hibs are still shite and expect them to lose. And I hope you're right there. But Jack Ross, I'm actually hoping he does well, because if he does well, that might mean that Glenn Middleton does well. And if Glenn Middleton does well, that does well for us. And that is the way I'm looking at this entire thing. Glasgow Rangers writes in, Jack Ross is working with a 1-star team in FIFA. I mean, he's no wrong. C-Skill. Hi, mate. Hello, buddy. Hello. But anyway, we're moving on to the last game of football. We're actually going to speak about the famous then, and that's going to be Glasgow Rangers, because the pressure was on them going into this game of football, with Celtic winning quite comfortably by 4 goals at home versus Livingston. Yes, they were always going to beat them, especially at home, because, you know what I mean, after every international break, there's one team that gets home games every time. Other one gets away wins. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm joking. If Ryan was here, he'd have bet on that, and I'd have got my belter. But it was a fascinating performance for Rangers, because it wasn't pretty. You've already seen my fan recap, so I'll keep this one short. Wasn't pretty, but we rolled up our sleeves, we worked our arse off, and we had a couple of key players, but both by the name of Ryan, which is quite ironic, because Ryan Jack, Ryan Kent, reliable. Ryan 118, an unreliable dickhead. Do you see the difference? You know what I mean? Ryan Jack, always there. Ryan Kent, always there. Ryan 118, always lets you down. Fascinating there with the old Ryans. But I think that's where I kind of going to leave this game. There were some good moments from Ryan Jack. There's some good moments for Ryan Kent. But my goal of the week, spoiler alert, is going to be the Ryan Kent goal. Absolute scream dream on his weaker foot. I don't care what his weak foot is. Apparently it's his right foot. Like, is he right-footed or left-footed, Ryan Kent? I should ken this. I'm pretty sure he's right-footed, but the way he finished with that, absolutely smashes it. Scott brings up, CJ, what did you think of Goldson? How long have you got, Scott? Wasn't a great performance. I think usually when Connor Goldson has these mad moments, there's usually a kind of understanding with Hollander, Barisic, or even Tavernier. But the whole defence, and I'm not want to just pick out Connor Goldson because I thought Hollander was all over the place as well. I thought Barisic defensively was a bit all over the place. And Tavernier, he was awful. Even though he got a last-ditch challenge and 2 assists, the defence just didn't work in that game of football. And it reminded me a lot of when we played against Hearts when we came back for the international break. Just off, they put 2 up top, kind of made it difficult, and they got that draw. That's what sorry about that, nearly swallowed the old tongue there. That would have been embarrassing. That is what they done against us, Hamilton. They put 2 up top, 1 on Connor, 1 on the Lander, split them up so they weren't tight, close, and weren't always talking to each other. And when you split them up, you can see that they're not quite in, like, mentally all there with each other because they're not played with each other enough. They're not quite 100% at it. And I think that's why there was gaps. That's why there was space. It was all over the place. Defensively, very, very poor. But someone else I want to ask just your opinion on it, by the way, is Scotty Arfield. Was he playing? Was he playing for Rangers, I should say, because he looked like he was playing for Hamilton. Very, very poor for Scotty Arfield. There was a lot of poor-esque performances, but I didn't want to be too negative because we're doing something new that we haven't done over the last couple of seasons, and that's winning games ugly. We weren't capable of that a year ago, especially 2 seasons ago. No chance. Last year, we had moments, it looked like we were capable. Late goal conceded. This year, we're getting the job done, and we are on the other end. We're going ahead and scoring late goals and winning games of football. So I didn't want to be too negative, but that performance has certainly given Gerrard a lot of work today to get them back in total, because whenever you put 2 up top and you split the 2 centre halves, it's absolute chaos. And it's a couple of times now I've seen that. It was very, very poor. Ready Terry writes in, or Ready Terry Bear writes in, we missed the Candyman on the right. I think we missed anyone on the right. Just anyone on the right-hand side would be fantastic. Even Barker, who I'm not the biggest fan of, if you just put a right winger there, that at least creates space. But Arfield just always wants to come inside, and when you've got a team parking the bus, that leaves Tavernier with 2 jobs today, and Arfield's just sitting there with like 3 men on him, completely nullified. I don't know, lads. It was very, very frustrating for me to watch him for the outside, because you know how talented he is. He's good behind the striker, but not at the cost of folding our formation inward and making us so one-dimensional. It's got to be something that gets fixed. Scott writes in, I love Arfield, but he seems to be having a quiet spell. But Jesus, the passes he gets are horrific. You're probably fair on that. A couple of times we just rattled it. Wolf writes in, Arf is a bit burnt out in my opinion, mate. I've said that a couple of times. He's never had a break for 2 years now. If you go back and look at it, there's never been one off season. I think I mentioned in a video before we came back to the season that in, I think, 16 months, he's had 11 days off, because the other times he's not been here, he's been playing for Canada, or he's been travelling with Canada. He's had 11 days off. Man looks absolutely ranked out his feet. I think Stewart needs more chances. He'd have been perfect in this game, I thought. Plastic pitch as well. Chris Boyle says Gerrard likes Arfield, to be honest. Yeah, he works hard. And I think we all like Arfield. I think it's a personal preference to not like Scotty Arfield. But if it's making the team struggle like it is, I think we need to be faster reacting. But we've got the win. And I'm hoping that Arfield just manages to adjust to this new right wing position and get there, because when Jordan Jones is back 100%, Gerrard said 10 days. That's just after the Feyenoord game. This Thursday might be Arfield's last chance out wide to prove that he can be that man for Rangers, because I'm pretty sure when you have Jordan Jones, Ryan Kent and Ojo all fit, they are going to be the main starters in the wing positions, in my opinion, especially Jones and Ryan Kent, because I think that's very, very exciting. But anyway, that's kind of the way Craig writes in, should retire from Canada. But that's kind of where we are with the game of football. Got to give a lot of credit to Hamilton. They certainly played their part. And if it wasn't for Miller missing a massive opportunity at the end, they might have stole something out the game. But a lot of credit has to be given as well to big Glenn Kamara. I'm seeing a lot of questions saying, should Goldson be dropped? You all know, lads. No, he is capable of so much good things. And when things go right, it does. I don't think Gerrard's ever. I think he's like within 5 weeks he was installed as vice captain or one of the vice captains. It shows you what Gerrard thinks of him. Yes, he has his bad moments, but he's playing with Tavernier on the right hand side. That leaves a lot of gaps. You know what I'm saying? Let's leave it at that. We'll be interested to see where he's gone with that one. I want to see any other questions that you want to ask on the Rangers game before we finish up. Robert goes, Hamilton were actually decent for once. Yeah, they played football and they nearly got something out of it. Hopefully that doesn't put them off going forward. Redwood Squirrel says, should Davis be captain? I'm not a big fan of changing your captain. I think Tavernier brings something to the team when he's 100% at it, and I don't think that's ever going to change until he leaves. I don't think we're ever going to strip him, but I do think the next Rangers captain is going to be Ryan Jack, in my opinion. That's the way I think that one is going to go. But there's a question here about the penalty kick. Yeah, the all clear silhouette. It comes from Mike. The boy hits his arm. I've seen it a couple of more times since my fan recap. It's 100% a penalty kick, but I don't know. You're never ever going to get them. And the last one we'll read out about the Rangers game comes from Glasgow Rangers, and he writes in, Highlander seems slow. What do you think? Yeah, I'd say both centre halves are actually pretty slow. I want to say Goldton's fast. I wouldn't even say Katic is fast. I think our fastest centre back is a man who never gets played and who's been getting played in a sort of centre defensive mid role for the reserves, and that's Edmonton. That's probably the fastest centre back, but the physical, and I think Highlander showed his quality, like you say, against Porto. When things go right for him, he's absolutely brilliant. And Mike G kind of sums up perfect. Highlander is more suited to the European games. He's a classy man. But that's it. That's what's going to be finishing up the old Rangers game there. Fantastic win and a fantastic result, but not a fantastic performance for Glasgow Rangers. Well, this is usually the part where I discuss with the other boys, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 players of the week. But now, since it's just me and thee having a chilled out night, I want to see your 5 players of the week in order. That'll be interesting to see. So while you guys do that, I'll give you mine very briefly. And again, as always, I try and not keep it too biased. So I only keep it to one pair, like Rangers, one player, hang it unless they score a hat-trick. So number 5, I've actually put Scott Allen. I thought he ran the show for Hibs. 4, I put Frimpong for Celtic. He got an assist in the game, technically because of the rebound, but fret all day. I've actually went with number 3, I went with McLaughlin, just to make it a bit different. That's the St Mirren defender, because not only did he score, he also got a clearance off the line, which would have made it 2-1 to Ross County. Fantastic bit of defending there. Runs in behind his defender, volleys it off the line. And I feel like on this show, sometimes we always pick the strikers. We always pick the wingers. So McLaughlin, I'm going to put him at number 3 there. Number 2, it's going to be someone who scored 2 goals, and that's going to be Ryan Kent. So that means Ryan Jack isn't making it in my 5 players of the week, but that's only because I'm only allowed 1 Rangers player per week. And I just felt like Kent, 2 goals, he deserves it. Sorry, Ryan, you know, absolutely love you. And the first one I've actually went with, believe it or not, it's going to be Chris Burke. 2 goals, 1 assist. I think technical hat-trick. I'm going to put him in there just to make it a wee bit different. So let's see what people had to say. Dylan writes in, Kent, Jack, Burke, Frimpong, and Scott Allen. Completely agree with that one, mate. Cammy writes in, Chris Burke at 1, Ryan Kent 2, Frimpong 3, Scott Allen 4, and Mo at 5. That's an interesting one as well. That's it. He did have a good game, right enough, maybe. But again, I try and keep only 1 per team. Blair writes in, Ryan, and Ryan. Got it. James writes in, Jack, and Kent. Nearly said Cack there. That would have been embarrassing for the old out of context. And Adam writes in Kent for Rangers. Is there anyone else writing in their 5 and we'll read them out? Callum writes in Kent, Jack, Allen, Frimpong, and Burke. And the last one we'll read out in this week's episode is actually going to come from Peaceful Warrior. And he writes in Kent at 1, 2 at Kent, 3 Kent, 4 Kent, 5 Kent. Dad's Bossack. Thank you, Bossack. I should proofread. I really should proofread before I read live, because there's no way I can edit this out. That's us. We are all done and dusted. And in fact, the last one, because you're always a legend, Peter, I see you every single post, whether it's a video for the last 2.5 years. He writes in Burke, Frimpong, Allen, Kent, and Xander Clark, who was actually my honourable mention on my list, and I'm pretty sure one of the other boys would have mentioned him. You can see there in the old notes there, Clark, close towards the end. So that's it. That's going to be it. Normally we do the predictions, but I don't know if it's worth doing. I'll leave it up to you. Should we do the predictions if it's just us? Should we? Or should we just leave it? Let's have a wee look, actually, at the Spfl games that's coming up. And I'll let you guys decide, as Rocky, I think, is coming up the stairs. Let's see. Spfl. A lot of people are now writing in the 5. Do apologise, boys. Thank you. Thank you, boys. Yeah, okay, right. Let's do the predictions then. Let's keep it fair then. We will not be stopped because we've been let down by the others. Right, we're going to start off with the very first game, and that's actually going to be Tuesdays. In fact, should we do Tuesdays game? I think that's too mental. Let's just do Saturday's games. The first one is coming in, and I want your opinions. I'm going to fire them up in the video. And again, if you're not watching live, get it down in the comments. The first one is going to be Aberdeen versus St Mirren. Again, the Dons, disappointing draw with St Johnstone, but at home they're starting to pick up the points now. Cosgrove just can't stop scoring. For me personally, I can only see an Aberdeen winning this game. As much as I would like to pick St Mirren, you all know I would. I'm going to go with Aberdeen 2, St Mirren 1. I think they won't grab a goal, but I feel like Aberdeen will come away. So get involved in the comments and I'll read them out. I know there's like a 15-second delay. The first one comes in and it's actually from William and he writes in 2. Now Lewis writes in Sheep 2, Saints 2. That sounds like an album. Connor writes in 2-0 to the Sheep. Ian Moore writes in 2-0 Dons. Hibs Fan TV says, are you still waiting on your hoodie? Mate, I've honestly messaged Ryan Mummoney every single day about this. It's on him. He's got the design, mate. I do apologise, but he's the one you want to speak to. You see what I'm dealing with here in the show. I'm trying my best, but yeah, your design's there. We're just waiting for him. Adam writes in 3-0, and the last one we read out comes from Callum Crossan. I apologise if I've messed that name up. He goes 3-2. That'd be an interesting game to break down. Anyway, moving on to the next game then. We've got Hibernian versus Kilmarnock, and two kind of teams that's coming off very good wins from the international break. I do believe in Jack Ross, though. Sorry, Cammy, I know you're a big fan of Kilmarnock, but I'm going to go again with a home win, and that's going to be Hibernian to win this game 1-0. I think 1-0, even though everything's telling me there's goals in this game, I'm just going to be an arsehole and go 1-0. That's it. There we are. First one comes in from Ian Moore. He writes in 2-1 to Hibs. Ree the B writes in 3-1 Hibs. That's the scoreline I was thinking about. That honestly was the scoreline, but I've changed it to 1-0 because there's always a disappointing game. So I feel like there's so much expectation that will be the disappointment. Craig writes in 2-1 to Kilmarnock. Redwood Squirrel writes in 2-2. Big Bad Blue 05 writes in 2-2. And Ewan writes in Hibs 2, Kilmarnock 2. Can I just say something? Like the name Ewan, right? I was watching sidetrack. Like Obi-Wan, like the series on Disney Plus, like how it's getting announced and there's doing a lot of interviews. I've been watching like Jeremy Johns and stuff like people that saw on YouTube react to the Obi-Wan series and like the series that's coming, the pictures and all this stuff. And they call him, what's it they call him? Instead of Ewan, they call him Ewan. That's it. Don't know where I was going with that, but you've left better than you've came. You've got a bit of knowledge now. So thank you for tuning in. And the last one we read out for the old game comes from Callum McKenzie, who rates in 3-1. Kelly, again, I think you're right with that one, lads, whoever wrote in 3-1. Next game is going to be Livingston versus Hamilton, the battle at the Plastic Park. So it's basically a home tie for Hamilton. But I am never, ever, ever betting against Livingston at home. Unless they play Rangers, I'm just not going to do it. Like the money on my mind is always going to be Livingston at home. And I think Livingston are actually going to respond with a big performance after getting pumped off Celtic. And I'm expecting big dites today, bits. I'm going Livingston 3, Hamilton 0, ladies and gentlemen. People saying, why did I bring that up? I have no idea, mate. All right, I have absolutely no idea. Robert writes in 2-0. Craig writes in 0-0. JFC Cam writes in 1-0 Livingston. Jim Birdie Lewis writes in 4-1 to Hamilton. Okay, Jim. Start early, did you? Gav writes in 2-1 to Livy. Adam writes in 3-0. James Sutton writes in 2-1. 3 red cards, the L plus Plastico. I can't even say that. But well done, mate. Fire on with that one. And in fact, we'll read out a couple more because so many people wrote in here. Rangers edit written. Actually, I've lost it. There's so many being fired in. Big Bad Blue writes in 2-1. And the last one comes on from, we'll scroll all the way there. Scroll all the way in there. We'll stop it there. And it comes from my channels, my rules, in it, CJ. No, it's our channel. That's always is. The last one I'm actually going to read out has come from Callum, and he rates in 1-0 to the Ackies. I love that I could so confidently say I'm never, ever betting against Livingston. I'm so confident, Livingston at home, I say all this. and it, like 90% of you all pick Hamilton to make me look like a dickhead. I love yous. I absolutely love yous. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. You couldn't back me. Yeah, you just couldn't back me once. Okay, we're moving on for it. Motherwell versus St Johnstone. Gogsy United versus Saints. I had none. I tried my best. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. This is my 1-1 draw, the disappointment of the week. A 1-1 draw with that one. Sorry, Gogsy 99er, but I just didn't believe in Motherwell. I think that St Johnston's just one of those teams, like a cling on. You know what I mean? See, when you try and climb off it like a dangleberry and it just clings on, that's kind of what they're like, don't they? They're no losing games, but they're clinging on. They're a dangleberry. You're welcome for that one. Welcome writes in well win. Thank you. William writes in 2-2. James Hunter writes in 0-0. Peter Ramsey writes in 4-0 to Motherwell. And Lewis Humphrey writes in 4-0 again. O'Halloran hat-trick. How do you block people? Just Google that. Can somebody find it? RDB writes in 3-0 to Motherwell. And the last one we'll read out, it actually comes from Callum. He writes in 3-0 Gogsy FC. Wank to score a goal. Moving on to the Sunday games then, the 1st of December, 24 days before Christmas. Again, useless fact that you already knew. And we're going to start off with Ross County at home versus Celtic. Now, I'm pretty sure Celtic will be playing in European football, but they've already qualified, and I've always held like the European games against Celtic, but I think they're already qualifying for the first time in I think 5 weeks. I'm going to pick Celtic to win. I'm going to go with Celtic 2, Ross County 0. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think Ross County at home is going to try and make it as difficult as possible. Narrow pitch. The big man, Stewart, is going to be a handful for Big Julian at the centre half position. I feel like they're going to try and restrict the space for people like Frimpong and everything like that. But I feel like they will come through it. I feel like Eduardo will grab a goal. So 2-0 to Ross County. James Hunter writes in 6-0 County. Watch it happen. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. Andrew writes in 6, back-to-back sixes. If we get one more, that means Damien is born. Aidan writes in 2-0. Robert writes in 9-0 Celtic. No doubt we will always be playing catch-up. Darren Davidson writes in 2-1 to Celtic. Them gets 3-0, and that's from Ian Stewart. Dylan Russell writes in 3-1 to Celtic. Chandler writes in, off the top of my head, was that 10 million? I don't know. 10 million 0 to Ross County. And last one, we'll give you a second. We'll scroll all the way down here, and we'll stop it right here. And it comes from another Callum. This time, Callum McKenzie, and he writes in Celtic to win 2-0. We're agreeing, lads. And the last game, Sunday 1st, is Rangers versus Hearts. That's right, Steven Gerrard versus the Skinny Viking. It's going to be an interesting one. Judas is back fully fit as well. A lot to go into the game, but if you want to know my prediction, you have to come on the Friday on this channel because I'm desperate for the content and I can't give it away for free, lads. Honestly, I genuinely can't. So I'll see you the day before. But anyway, get involved and I'll read out some people's opinion on this one. The first one comes in and he writes in 4-2 to Rangers. Cameron writes in 3-0 Ryan Jack hat-trick. JVC Cam writes in Rangers 4-0. No confident at all, CJ. I think we'll get battered. It might be the best thing for you because if you get battered again, that might show wee Budgie that she actually needs to get a manager in instead of Craig Levine placeholder. That might be what he's actually need there. Callum McCracken writes in 4-0 to Rangers. Big Bad Blue writes in 4-0 to the Queens 11. That's what my dad says by all the time. Whenever I ask him the score, that's literally what he replies back in the texts. Jim writes in 7-0 to Rangers. And the last one we read out actually comes from Scott, and he writes in 4-0 to Rangers. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people. You've heard from myself. In fact, Wolf actually agrees there. It's going to be 4-0 to Rangers. And sorry again that the rest of us aren't here. I know you guys like the banter back and forth, but I didn't want to let you down by no uploading. So I fired up on Twitter and asked if you wanted the solo video. I know it wasn't as good as it usually is when there are people. I do apologise about that one, but again, I didn't want to let you down and not give you an upload today or this week because I know we've not got the biggest following on the Spfl show, but we've got a loyal one. So I just wanted to be loyal to you guys. But I do appreciate every single person for tuning in and getting involved and listening to me stutter my way through this one. But again, that's 49 minutes up. that's been this week's SPFL show. If you are new around here and if you don't mind hitting the like button on the series, that would be absolutely tremendous because it shows you guys want to see this series continue. And I've been CJ Romney too. Thank you so much for watching, and bye. And then this is the part I'm still live. Look.